Hey guys, making a starter for my Voss Kvike that I saved from quite a while ago, almost a year. It hasn't been a year, less than a year. It's been a while though. So it's been sitting in one of these yeast vials, 500 milliliter yeast saving things in the fridge. And I'm gonna dump it into a starter and see if I can awaken the beast. But when I went to decant, so what I did is I made a starter of the Kvike, and then I poured all but about 500 milliliters of the starter into the beer that I fermented with it, and then I poured the rest into here to save off a bit. So I just overbuilt a starter and then and saved the rest. But I noticed, so it was a fully attenuated starter that when I went to decant this, that is, I don't want to rouse the yeast too much, but when I was decanting it, when I opened it, it was pressurized, and those are bubbles, that's carbonation, this is beer. So even though it was a fully attenuated starter that went into here, it's still, the Kvike worked on this long enough to actually carbonate this starter wort. So that's some crazy stuff there. I was just gonna take a little drinky of it before I poured it into a new starter, just to make sure that whatever it did to that stuff in there, just to make sure it's still okay. And I thought I'd cam up to do it. So I'm just gonna try and get as little as possible out without, yeah. Oh, look at that. That's crazy, right? All right. Now the rest I'm gonna swirl up with the yeast to pour into the new starter. But look at that. It's carbonated and everything. It smells like well, it smells like heavily oxidized beer because it's from a starter that was on a stir plate. So I actually get a little bit of the Kvike yeast in it though. Yeah, it tastes like really bad beer. Really heavily oxidized beer. I'm looking for any kind of sourness to it. Make sure that this isn't infected with anything. It has that kind of, yeah, Kvike sourness. It's not it's not sharply sour, so I think it's okay. So yeah, I'm gonna reawaken that, and then I'll test the. I'll show you that, and then I'll test that starter, because I'm just gonna wake it up and I'm gonna put it back in its jar for a brew that's coming up in a week or two. But yeah, so maybe I'll show that. All right, happy Homebrew Wednesday. I don't think I mentioned that in the clip I just did. This is gonna be a Homebrew Wednesday. Isn't that fantastic? Yeah, welcome to Cooking with Alex. Well, you can't possibly know, but you are behind my stovetop right now. Here, I'll pick this up, prove it to you. I'm gonna make my starter wort. That's, I say it weird, I guess. For these starters, I'm actually making two starters. One for the Kvike, and one for, crap. Hang on just a second. Alright, sorry about that, I forgot a prop. One for the Kvike and one for this, which is a pack of WLP 644 Sac Trois, which is way out of date. Whoa, way out of date. So I'm just gonna, this is actually just like a is it alive test where I'm gonna see if this starts up. I have had this and I didn't use it for whatever reason. It was Best Buy March 13th, 2018. Today is January 20th, I think. So way out of date, but we'll see if we can't bring it back to life. I'm gonna do like a step on this one, see if it takes off, and then step it up a little bit for a beer that I've got in my brain pan. Yeah, so there's that. I have 1 liter of water by weight in this saucepan. So I have an induction cooktop, so I can't boil directly in my Erlenmeyer flasks because, yeah, induction doesn't work like that. You need to have a ferrous magnetic metal to get some heat on them. We bought a hot plate when we first moved in here, and we didn't have the appliances yet. I did not know where that thing is. It was supposed to be for cooking on until we got our kitchen in order, and then I was gonna move it to the brew house for just this type of situation, so I could heat the Erlenmeyers in it. And I have no idea what happened to it in the meantime. But anyway, this will work out just fine. I will boil the starter wort in this pot, and then I will put it into the Erlenmeyer, and yeah, you guys know how that works. There are a lot of videos about that, about making starter wort and everything. So I've got in this coffee cup, I've got 100 grams of DME, light DME, by weight. By the way, if you live in a Nordic country, this is I bought DME in bulk one time because I did, and I bought a ton of it. And I needed, if you've ever worked with DME, like the slightest bit of moisture turns it into this crumbly mess, and it's terrible to work with and hard to clean. So I bought these buckets at Biltema. They cost like absolutely nothing. They're food grade for storing food in. And I put it in there not expecting much, but it is still, I'm not gonna pour it, I'm gonna end up pouring it everywhere, but it is still all crumbly. It's been in there for 2 years, sitting out in the brew house for at least a year with no temperature or moisture control, and it is still completely crumbly. And I can highly recommend those buckets for putting brew crap into. Anyway, all right, I'm gonna boil this up. I'm gonna get it into the flasks, cool it down, and I think I'll come back when I pitch these guys. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. All right, whoa! All right, so got my starter wort. Both of my flasks have been Star Sand, which is kind of redundant since I'm about to pour boiling liquid into them, but better safe than sorry. I'm just gonna sort of eyeball this because these are 2-liter flasks and I'm only putting 500 mils in each one of them, which another reason I did the Star Sand. So it's around about half. Oops. And they're just sitting in a sink. You're behind my laundry room sink now. Welcome. Not sure you've ever been there before. Boldly go. This is riveting, I know. There we go. And so those, now I've got it split up, roundabout. And I am just going to fill the sink with cold water and let them cool down, and then I'll pitch. Alright, now that did not take long to cool at all because it is not that much liquid. And I should explain why I'm not using very much. So yeah, I'm only using 500 mils a piece, and one reason is, like I said, this pack of Brett, not Brett, it's not Brett. The 644 is way out of date, so I'm just seeing if it'll wake up. And for the kvike, I'm as Josh Secor would say, I'm just trying to get it angry. So yeah, we're only gonna do a tiny bit of wort here in the beginning. So I've got it all cooled down. I just made a choice in my head on which one I'm gonna put in which, and now I can't remember. So yeah, okay. All right, so let's get the kvike in first, because that's gonna be pretty easy. So there it is in the bottom. Just gonna give it a good swirl to get all that yeast kind of unified in there. I'm just gonna, I don't know, maybe to ward off the evil spirits, we're just gonna do a little flame action here for no reason. Squirt it down with some star sand. Squirt the lid down. Squirt my hands. Oh, still some pressure building up in there, but that's just because I shook it up. I'm just gonna spray the lip down. Move my tin foil over. Sorry, you can't see any of this. Just for the giggles, gonna squirt the lid of this, and I'm just gonna. I'm not gonna do like a tall pour so you can see. You're just gonna have to imagine what's going on down here. It looks a lot like a lot of chunky yeast going into a flask. So just again, I'm gonna do that one. And there you go. It's not going on a stir plate because my stir plate is broken. So I'm just gonna swirl it around and we'll see if it goes to town on that, which I expect that it's going to. So here's this. It's been soaking in star sand to get the outside of the... So we're gonna just do the lip of this one again. And just a little extra star sand. Let's cut the top off here. I really don't like these new things, but you can't halt progress. And then let's get this in there. There we go. I kind of ran my fingers along the outside to break up the. It'd gotten pretty chunky in there to kind of break it up, but yeah. All right. I'm just gonna kind of squeeze on the packaging and see if I can't get any more of the yeast out. You don't need to see that. I need to dry my hand off though before I reach over there and turn the camera off. So I will try and make one little last clip to show if they take off, maybe tonight or tomorrow, probably tomorrow. So yeah, there we go.